I'm sure you have been watching the campaign rallies.
The question on the lips of many is this: if Pastor, Professor, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo won the APC primary elections, will E.A. Adeboye, the spiritual head, leader, Daddy Gio of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, speak in this manner? Well, he has been outspoken recently, and you know fully well that Tinubu's wife is one of the deaconess, and Adeboye, being a mathematician, a Nigerian, and also someone who understands church politics, and politics with church, I mean the general type of politics that you know. We have seen many politicians come to his church, he lays hand on them, and they will not go without big fat check. Now, that being said, let us proceed. Will Adeboye say the same if it were Osinbajo that is the APC presidential candidate? Would he have said that all of these people that you see, the crowd, are rented? This is a bone of contention. In fact, Nigeria, the body of Christ, is boiling right now. People are divided. They are saying, so right now, you are trying to say your deaconess husband is buying crowd. Or is he referring to Atiku Abubakar? Who is he exactly referring to? And you know what this means. It means that the big fat check, tithe, offerings, and many other extras that Tinubu's wife, Deaconess Remi Tinubu, has given to the church, she will demand it back.
I don't know whether I should say this. When you see, I'm sure you have been watching the campaign rallies. I watch it in the news. I don't know if you have noticed that two different people don't hold their campaign simultaneously in a town. Have you noticed that? You don't know why. Because majority of the crowd, majority are rented.
Should Tinubu become president of Nigeria, there is a lot that is going to happen. What I'm trying to tell you in essence is this: with all of these arrows shot at Tinubu's presidential ambition, he knows who his enemies are. He knows those who he has made friends with for benefit and those that do not want him to get there. He knows all of these people. Will Bola Tinubu forgive these people if he steps in there? Will he not come up with policies in a certain way that will shut down those people? Will Vice President Yemi Osinbajo remain in Nigeria after Tinubu becomes president? Will he just come in, shake hands, and congratulate him, and the next thing he will disappear, probably to the United Kingdom, because Nigeria will be too hot for him to stay? Will Bola Tinubu not wield that presidential power that most of them often wield? Well, right now, our dear Daddy Gio has become outspoken all of a sudden. There was a time he talked about if there is not going to be any elections because God has not spoken. He said Daddy has not spoken. So any other person speaking about who God told them will be the president is lying. He said it. And this kind of prompted a lot of people to start digging deeper, looking into their Daddy Gios. And people, apart from those who are diehard extremists or diehard believers in these churches and pastors, apart from those who refuse to tell themselves the truth and reality, the people who looked at and heard what Adeboye said, they felt like, really? Are you the only one that God speaks to now? So if God has not spoken to you, it means that he will not speak to other people. And how are we sure that God is still speaking to you? And how are we sure that God is interested in what you're doing? They have looked at RCCG, Adeboye, as a money-making machine like many other churches. And even mosques, Islam, Muslims, they are also getting involved in this kind of charlatanism, if there is a word for that. Now, let's look at the politics of it. When Osibanjo expressed his ambition, because we've been saying it, that Osibanjo wants to be president of Nigeria, they said it's a lie, it's not true. How can he betray Tinubu? Tinubu helped him to get there, all of this and that. And I said to myself, well, really, time will tell. On this platform, we will find out. Not until Osibanjo came forward saying he wants to be president of Nigeria. Now, hear what Daddy Gio is saying.
I don't know whether I should say this. When you see, I'm sure you have been watching the campaign rallies. I watch it in the news. I don't know if you have noticed that two different people don't hold their campaign simultaneously in a town. Have you noticed that? You don't know why. Because majority of the crowd, majority are rented. So I come, I pay, you gather. After I've gone, another man comes, he pays, you gather. Somebody said, Daddy, you keep on saying that you haven't heard from God about who will win or who will. Maybe because there are several things occupying my mind. And one of it is when I see the crowd gathering, and if you look at the crowd, majority of them are young. When I see the hundreds of thousands of youth, you have to be jobless to be attending all these rallies. What's going to happen when the campaigns are over and there's nobody to rent anymore?
Well, as you can see, the writings are on the wall. Now, RCCG created a department for politics after Osibanjo told, of course, Daddy Gio knows already. But one of the presidential candidates, aspiring candidate, Dele Momodu, also member of RCCG, cried out. He said, Daddy Gio, do not be part of this. Make sure that the church is neutral. We know that Osibanjo is part of the church, a minister, a Yoruba man. Maybe he can be trusted by the Gio. We know that Deaconess Remy is also part of the church. I'm also part of the church. Are you trying to say that you are going to put your support, the church, behind one particular candidate? Do not do this. And, everyone became quiet a little bit. But we know what RCCG was waiting for. Primaries. Will Buhari help Osibanjo with the cabals or whoever out there who prompted him, encouraged him? Will they allow him? If you watch that primaries, you will realize that Osibanjo's wife was not there. Maybe she's inside of the room or on the mountain somewhere or in RCCG praying on behalf of her husband's victory with many other pastors. Or she already warned him and said, look, man, you're a lawyer. This man, you've done things together. Why don't you just step down? We have taken enough that we need to take, unless they don't want to take. We know what they do in government. please step aside and do not fight as a waju. Let them do what they need to do. It's better not to have enemies at this time and at this age. And you know, Mr. Osibanjo, if you look at his, if you look deeper, look beyond that calmness, that attitude of, I cannot shout too much, I cannot breathe, I cannot do this and that. If you look beyond it, you will know that there is a man who is stubborn. He said, no, I will do it. I will do it, whatever it is. And maybe he was encouraged by Daddy Gio. And maybe some other pastor, Daddy Gio said God told him. I don't know. Because all of a sudden, it seems as Tinubu won the primary elections, Daddy Gio have stopped hearing from God. The voice of God have not spoken. They are buying crowd. Is it today that they are buying crowd? Did Goodluck Jonathan not buy crowd? How many of them? Come on. Well, I don't know. I'm not trying to say that these are not facts. But people are saying, why is he now speaking at this time? Why haven't you been speaking since, loud and clear? Well, Tinubu knows that there are a lot of forces against him. He wants to just achieve this. I'm not saying Tinubu is the best candidate. Now am I saying any other candidate are the best candidate? But I'm just saying that everything in Nigeria is politics. Fight for your own. None of these top pastors in these churches are suffering. Politicians like Tinubu and the rest of them, they are not suffering. All they want to do is to make sure that they solidify what they've acquired, either loot, steal, charlatan, whatever. They just want to solidify it and make sure that they stand their ground, so no one will be able to put them down. Well, what are your thoughts as regards this one? Drop your comment in the section as we often do. Do not forget to like and share this video. If you're a returning subscriber or you've been here with us all the way, I say thank you and God bless. See you in the next video.